In this video, we'll be looking at what event bubbling actually is. Okay, so I'm really sorry for this. So I have this file over here. I'll open with code. Now, if you see this index.html, I have this thing. I have this index.html, and I have this main.js where I have used event handlers, right? So I'll go to the document to actually see what this code has given us as a result. There's a container and there's a button over here. Okay, so let's see the code first. There's a container and inside of it there's a button over here, right? And in main.js, what I have done is uh, I've actually used event handlers for these both elements. For button, I have used onClick, and for container, I have used onClick. All right. So when the button is clicked, it'll alert button clicked, and when container is clicked, it'll alert container clicked. Okay. Now let's see what happens when I click on the button. So it says button click. That's good. It worked. But when I do OK, and if I see here, what is not doing that because I don't know what is happening over here. Let me refresh that again. I think okay, let's do it again because I did not refresh the page, right? Okay, let's click it. This says button clicked and this says container clicked. It should just say button clicked, isn't it? But because of the event bubbling, we got this. Because what event bubbling does is, if you see here, there's a button. It is a child, isn't it? And there's event handler for child over here for button, and there's also event handler for its parent. And what event bubbling does is it'll just bubble the event up to the parent. That means when child is getting the event, right, it'll first trigger the event handler for child, and also that event will bubble and it'll go up to the parent. And when that event is actually happening with the container, this thing will this thing will execute because this is the event handler for the container, right? So this thing actually happens in a web development, right? If you're in a web development field, then you may encounter this thing, right? So how to stop this? The main purpose is how to stop this, right? One way to stop this is using this thing, that is e.stopPropagation. Right, so when you use this will actually stop the event bubbling. Okay, so let me refresh this again and let's click this now. Okay, this is okay because I've clicked on the button and event handler for button has been executed. Okay, now see, the event did not bubble this time. Okay, so this way you can actually prevent uh, the event bubbling. Okay, now another thing that I want to discuss in this video is event bubbling only happens, let's go here, event bubbling only happens if the child and parent has the same event. Okay, try to change the parent event to mouse enter to see the result. Let's go and change it. Okay, if I say if I have different event in child and parent, then event bubbling won't happen because this is a confusion with so many people, right? I have a different event for child and I have a different event for parent. Now let's go and see the result. Okay, this happened because I've actually used on mouse leave over here, so when I just leave the mouse this will happen. Okay, so I'll refresh the page again and I'll just click here. Okay, this thing happened because I've clicked button. Okay, but now see, the event for container did not execute. The event handler for container did not execute because event bubbling only happens if the child and parent has the same event. That's it. And the conclusion for this video is, it is always a good practice to always use e.prevent default and e.stopPropagation in event handler. I'll not discuss about e.prevent default in this video, but using this is a good practice. I'll discuss this about this one in next video, but this session was all about event bubbling. So e.stopPropagation. So what does e mean? E mean event. That's it. All right. So it is always a good practice to use e.stopPropagation and e.prevent default, right? But in this video, I'll not talk about e.prevent default, but just use it as a kind of a sealed. All right. So that is it about event bubbling and stop propagation.